Okay, today is Thursday, the 16th of July, 2020. I'm recording with two cameras. I'm going to be watering the garden. I have an external mic on my Akazo 4K camera. I'm recording in 2.7K at 30 frames per second. And on my Fuji X10, I'm recording in 1080p, 30 frames per second. Let's go out and water. I have an external microphone on the Akazo. Turn on the water. Some hydrangea. Growing pretty nice. Of course, the Akazo has image stabilization and the Fuji X10 does not. This is my trusty watering machine. It's an overcast kind of a day, sunshine coming out once in a while. It's supposed to rain, but no rain in sight. Okay, there are my two eggplants, and they have eggplants starting. You can see right there. There's an eggplant starting. I think there's one on here too. There's an eggplant starting right there. Okay, so we're going to start watering. I was hoping that the rain would do its job today, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I got my pine tree is losing its needles today for some reason, and they're falling in my head. Apparently eggplants need a lot of water, so gotta make sure I water these. Actually, the field of view of the Akazo was much wider than the field of view of the Fujifilm X10. Yeah, the Serrano peppers are doing good. They look pretty good to me. There's my arugula. It's doing okay. This chard is doing fine. I've picked it a couple of times now. You can see on the stalks. You can see on the stalk where I've picked the outer leaves. You pick the outer leaves and you leave the inner leaves alone, and then they grow up. And then they become the outer leaves, and then you pick them, and they keep doing that until they stop growing. Let's see what it says there. Bonnie Serrano. I have both cameras mounted on like a miniature tripod that I can handhold. The Acaso comes with a whole bunch of mounting hardware, so I was able to use the mounting hardware that they use for bicycles that you mount around the handlebars, and I just wrapped it around the 3 legs of the tripod. I've got the Acaso mounted with my Fuji X10 on the same tripod. It's a warm, humid day today. It's going to be near 90 today. And I got a zucchini coming. Ah, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, looking good. Be picking that soon. Kind of windy too. Nice. Nice day. Nice breeze. Zucchini plants are huge. Some zucchinis are coming out. I didn't think they'd ever start maturing. I'm not sure if zucchini plants need a lot of watering or not. I would think. I haven't researched them. No. But I've been growing zucchini plants as long as I've been growing the Swiss chard. Many, many years. They always get around the same results. Some years the zucchinis don't grow, but usually they do. I don't usually have a problem with the acidity of soil or anything like that. I just use a regular balanced fertilizer. And well-drained soil. These little garden boxes seem to be good. I don't know if you can see all the pine needles falling. Got a huge pine tree. I don't know how big that thing is. A monster. And I've got my old cattle panel greenhouse. Constructed it out of these cattle panels that you can buy at Tractor Supply. You just bend them over, staple them to the wood structure, and you've got yourself a little greenhouse. And then you just roll some plastic over top of it. The grocery store bought basil plant starting to seed out there. I thought it would grow further. Not doing too well. And then I have another eggplant there. I started some seed and it's awful small. I'm going to leave it in the greenhouse. If it starts to grow, I'll leave it in the greenhouse, and when it cools off and the summer ends, I'll just put the plastic over the cattle panel and see how it does. And here's my monster parsley. Huge plant. more arugula right there. Popping up, doing good. And I got a couple little basil plants, but they're not doing too well. Look at that tomato plant. Started growing right out of the mulch inside the greenhouse. I have never seen a parsley plant that big. I don't understand why it grew so big. And it was a plant that was left over from the year before. I've got some wire fencing holding it in place, otherwise it'd take over the whole greenhouse. My arugula, I had arugula planted here and it got, seed bound, and I pulled most of it out. I left a few in there. And here's some arugula plant. Still tastes good. Yep. Nice peppery taste. Good for salad. Ooh, very pungent. The other side of my greenhouse, I got more Swiss chard and a little tomato plant that just started on its own there. Swiss chard is doing really well in the greenhouse. Got some hanging flower plants here. And I got 3 tomato plants in here. They're the cherry tomatoes, so see how they come out. I understand tomatoes don't like the soil too wet, so I like to water them, but not too much. See how that cattle panel just wraps around there, and the end woodworking on the ends. I have a screen door at the end of this side. Got a screen door that I put in there. I designed the end framework with a free software program on Windows 10 on the Windows Store, Microsoft Store. It's really easy to use. Look at that parsley plant. It's crazy. I don't know why it grew so big. A little more to the zucchinis. I guess with any garden plant, consistent watering is probably important, as long as you keep doing it the same way. sun's getting pretty hot now. It's almost, well, it's right around 11 o'clock, I think, 11 a.m. And here's my fig tree. It's in a half barrel. Well drained soil. I put some azomite in the soil. Azomite is a volcanic ash you can buy online. It comes from Utah. Apparently there's a lot of it there. Buy it in bags. Sometimes you can get it locally. But the figs look alright. They look pretty good. Lots of figs. They're still green. Try to keep these potted plants watered every day. They have to be. They dry up quickly. I have two more eggplants that I started from seed. I bought the seed online. Started them early in the year in the greenhouse. They didn't do too well. I brought them out, put them in this pot, and they're doing fine. It's just a little late. And I got mint and more parsley. And I tried to grow some rosemary in there, but the rosemary is just not growing very well. I have a hard time growing rosemary. Don't know what I'm doing with that. And my lemon tree. Bought this lemon tree. It was really tall. It had lemons all over it. Real skinny trunk. Meyer lemon tree. And the lemons came out. And I picked a couple. They weren't really mature yet. But I wintered it in the greenhouse. And it died. Got too cold. So now I keep it in the garage, in this barrel. So it died, but the rootstock sprouted two more branches. And since it's a grafted tree, I do not know what type of lemon is going to sprout from this. But it's still alive, so I'm letting it live. I want to see what it does. And my wife's mandevilla plants. Doing fine. Pretty flowers. I really like this watering nozzle. Puts out a good amount of water, you know, gently. So even if you're watering seeds that you planted, you don't move them around too much. Well, I was hoping it would rain, but no rain in sight. It's good to water your plants, you know, soak them good and then walk away, let the water soak in, and then come back again and soak them again. Get a more thorough watering that way. The other mandigola. Really pretty climbing. Loves to climb. Loves the sun too. So I'm checking out both videos to see which camera does better. I don't like using the Fuji because there's no image stabilization, and I don't have a what do you call those stabilizers? I forget. Oh, almost done watering. I'm sure there's going to be a big difference in the image stabilization here. But Fuji X10 is, even though the resolution is less than the resolution of the Akazo, the image quality is far better. I think it's because of the size of the light sensor. And less processing. Well, we're done watering today. See you next time.